Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, one of my favorite things about Toronto International Film Festival is seeing the incredible talent coming right out of this country.
It is so true, right?
Yes.
And our next guests are here to tell us about their movie, Something You Said Last Night, a transgender story all about love, shame, and family dynamics. Joining us now is the director of the film, Louise De Philippis, and lead actor, Carmen Madonia. Welcome to the show to both of you.
We're so excited about this. So you had the big debut for the film this past Saturday. So I'm curious to know, how did the audiences respond?
They responded really well. There was a lot of laughter, which I wasn't expecting.
Oh.
It was amazing to see it at home in Toronto, where I grew up with my family and my friends, and same for Louise. This movie is really, I think, for our community as much as it is for the world. So I loved seeing it for the first time with so many people who understand why this story is so important to us.
Mm. We also had the inaugural Trans Film Summit this past Sunday, and it was just an afternoon of celebrating trans stories and discussion about what we want for trans cinema in the future. And we had T.S. Madison there to accept the first Trans Barrier Breaker Award, and she just lit up the room and brought us to church and just told us we have to keep going, and together we're gonna get there. And it was just so inspirational.
It's amazing.
Well, yeah, so good. Louise, you, in your short career working as a director, you've done so much great stuff in terms of celebrating otherness and pushing queer culture forward in film. And when it comes to representation and casting, how important is it, or was it for you, to have somebody who identifies as trans playing a trans character?
I think it's kind of a non-negotiable. I think right now, trans actors have to play trans characters, but in the future, maybe once we see trans actors on screen just as much as cis actors, we could re-examine that. But I think the second piece of that puzzle is representation behind the camera. To me, that's just as important. So on our film, right from the beginning, we knew that mentorship would be really important to us, and so we started a mentorship, and we had 5 trans youth on set with us, and what that meant was every day when Carmen woke up, and when she was in the makeup chair, there's a trans girl doing her makeup. When she was getting dressed, there was a trans girl getting her dressed. Behind the camera, there was a trans girl. So it meant when we looked out at our crew, there were trans women, there were dolls all across the room. And to me, that is the next level of representation.
That's big. So Carmen, your character's name is Ren in this film. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
Yeah. At the beginning of the film, we see Ren tagging along on a family vacation pretty reluctantly. She just lost her job, which is the big secret from the family. And just like so many people her age, she's really struggling with trying to find independence and assert that independence from her family, but also really craving that security, connection, and protection, and true understanding from her family as well. So we get to see her kind of go on that journey on this vacation.
Carmen, you said after this film, your life completely changed. How so?
It just gave me so much permission to live authentically. Before I shot this movie, I thought that acting was putting on all these layers of a character, and I've really discovered that I already put on so many layers every day, and working on this film was about stripping those layers away so we could make a really real trans character that people could see themselves in, whether they're trans or not.
So Louise, you're Italian, and you often bring that lens to the films that you make, including your award-winning short drama for Nonna Anna.
Yeah.
And this was all about your relationship with your Nonna, your grandmother. So how does that film really debunk what I think a lot of people may have is this stereotype that, Italian families, they're conservative, and particularly when it comes to being trans?
I mean, I think that can be summed up in one story. When I came out to my nonna and I said, I'm trans, she just looked at me and said, okay, but Jesus loves everyone. And I think that's really important and special because here's this woman who's an Italian immigrant, has a grade 2 education, is illiterate, is very devoutly religious, Catholic, and if she can accept me and accept my friends, then there's no excuse for anyone else. And that's the spirit that I want to show.
Really powerful. Carmen, this is your on-screen debut, and your performance is being hailed as a game changer. You've been named also a TIFF Rising Star, so congratulations on that. As you continue in this industry, what are some shifts that you're hoping to see going forward?
Yeah, I hope we see so many more opportunities for trans women so that they can get the recognition that I feel Luis has given me in this role. I hope that we get to see really varied trans characters. I hope that we get to see trans characters that have flaws, that are not put on a pedestal, so that we can really start to understand that trans people are just like the rest of us, and that we can start seeing trans stories that are relatable for everyone, whether they're trans or not.
Mm-hmm. I want to go further with that, Luis, because TIFF describes this movie as, quote, a different kind of transgender story. So why do you think everyone needs to go see this film?
Well, I think at the end of the day, this is a story about family. It's not a story about transition. It's not a story about coming out. It's about really celebrating the people who love you the most. And Renata in the story is a sister. She's a granddaughter. She's a daughter. She's all those things first, and a trans woman second. And I think we can all just see ourselves in her. And that's why this story is different than any other story that's been told before.
Well, thank you both. Really, thank you both. Congratulations on the film. Thank you for making some time and joining us here today as well. And we want to tell our viewers the film is called Something You Said Last Night. Now, if you are in the Toronto area, you can catch the movie. The final screening at TIFF is happening tonight. That's 7:30 p.m. right down the street at the Scotiabank Theatre. So see if you can go check that out. Thank you both again. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.